Told you once, now tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, now the way I feel, here's my advice. Now tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, now tell you twice.
Hello, this is Pastor Jay with Walk with Truth Radio. I need you to turn on and tune in to God's Gift Through His Word with Ms.Drake. Yes, God didn't tell me to listen to her. You know what? It's just common sense. She has an awesome program. She's an awesome woman of God. And guess what? You can really learn from her. Yes, she's the one who brought me the podcasting. And I thank God for that. So turn on and tune in to God's Gift Through His Word with Sister, Author, Extraordinaire, Ms.Drake. This is Pastor Jay with Walk with Truth Radio. I always want to be encouraged to be blessed and be at peace and walk in truth. Peace.
Hey, Tanika, it's Martha. I'm just calling to find out that all is well with you. I text you on Instagram. I left a message for you on a 667 number area code. And I left a message with Pastor Sutton. So I'm just calling to find out if you're okay. My phone didn't upload all the numbers and information for my iPhone 7 because it went out, and I just got my new phone. So I'm just checking in on you. Please let me know that all is well. Love you. Take care and all the best.
You are listening to God's Gift Through His Word with your hostess, Ms.Drake. If you enjoy the show here, don't forget to go to the Apple Podcast platform and make sure to leave a review and a 5-star rating so that other listeners can find her. Reviews are the best way for people to know how great she is. You can also go to the Castbox app and leave a comment on her show. Thank you so much for listening. Here's Tanika.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ms.Drake, and I'm going to be doing a very hard thing for myself, and probably it might help others. I don't know yet, but we'll see. I'll be talking a little bit about DCFS since my kids were taken during this COVID-19. It's going to be a little bit challenging for me. I'll be doing a DCFS Diaries, and I will be also talking about rape. These are two different issues, but they're kind of going on simultaneously at the same time. So I'm not sure if I'll be doing it on God's Gift Through His Word or Loving Arts for Families, or I'll be doing it on both. But I do have a lot of stuff to share, and I want to be extremely clear. When we talk about rape and sexual assault, sometimes we have friends that don't understand. And if they don't understand, sometimes it's okay for you to step back and not discuss that with them. There are some people who can hold your information and they're okay with that, and some people who don't understand. And when we're talking about friends who are women, they might understand a little bit better. Some male friends don't understand, and then they label you as promiscuous, even though you've had rape and sexual assault in your history. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it okay, but some of the actions that we do are a result of things that have happened in the past. Now, that doesn't give anybody the right to continue doing the same thing that they were doing before, and I'm not talking about the rape and sexual assault, just if you like to go out and have different intimate times with different people, and that's just something that you used to do. That doesn't negate what the word says about not doing that, okay? But sometimes we have to work out issues prior to that. So just be careful and be mindful, because some people that talk to you even if they're friends, they can tear you down and make you feel like literally like junk. They can make you feel like junk. So if you have a friend like that their intention in their heart might be right and good, they still don't know how to talk to you in a sensitive manner. So I just want to say, if you are a person who has been through domestic violence and abuse, you have to watch when you talk to those people as well, because the people who think that they know how it feels to go through it, they don't. They're just assuming, they're just going off of what you say, but they have no idea. They'll never understand. And someone who's gone through rape, they'll not understand the violation, the betrayal, the emotional roller coaster that it's going to take for you to come back to yourself. Because sometimes when you have gone through rape or sexual assault, pieces of you have been destroyed, not even damaged, just destroyed and disseminated down to nothingness, that you feel like garbage and trash. And then you have a friend that comes around and says, that's you being promiscuous, huh? Nice to know that you're one of those little sexual thought bots. And that's not true. And that's so insensitive. So please don't let anybody, friend or no friend, some people are friends and some people are your frenemies. You got to know who's who. And if they are a friend, sometimes you can't share certain things with them because they're not able to understand. And if they keep telling you they don't understand, you, as the person who's trying to make them understand, need to stop. And I had to realize that for myself. If someone doesn't understand, trying to make them understand will not work. Sometimes it's just too far gone that they can't get it, and they will never get it. And the only reason I can say that is because I was watching, a friend of mine suggested to watch The Invisible War, that was talking about all the rapes and the sexual assaults in the military that have gone on for a long time. A long time. Many women have been raped and assaulted in the military, not just the Air Force, but the Army, the Marines, the Navy, and it just continually goes on. And DOD continues to hide those facts. And it's just like, when I tell people the government is the government and they can get away with doing basically anything until we have some government officials that call it out, I'm like, no, you're not getting away with that. We're going to call you to the carpet and you're going to face the music. But for me, there's not really justice coming for me. There's just me just talking about it to help somebody else. And I want to be a support for you. And I want to be a support as much as I can be. When I was in the military and I went into the basic training, I was raped by my TIs. And I can never take it back. Being promiscuous was not the assignment of the day. Just these were people in authority. And what can you do with people in authority? Can you tell them no? No, you signed a contract in the military. You belong to the government, which means government officials, government people who are your bosses can literally do anything to you that they want. And someone's like, that's not true. Yes, it is. It's very true, and it happens all the time. It's just not talked about because it is the military. And if the military catch you talking about it, you could potentially lose your life. That's how serious it is. They will kill you before they let their military have a stain on its record, even though there is an invisible stain on the record for military being like this. There's military stain for hazing. There's a military stain for rape against women in the military, and it happens often. So I just wanted to share for myself that I needed to get this out, because someone was telling me, my therapist was telling me I'm suffering from PTSD because I have nightmares, I have flashbacks, and I keep having flashbacks to the moment, and it hurts because I went into the Air Force not to be raped. I went into the Air Force to serve my country, to travel the world like my father had done. And I didn't get to do that. I never made it to tech school. My military career was short-lived. As soon as I went in, some people saw me. I don't know if they saw me as weak, but they saw me as, I don't know. I wore the same uniform as everybody else. I wasn't trying to reveal my shape or anything like that. I wore the same BDUs, the same boots, the same socks, t-shirt, everything. Had my hair pulled in a bun. Like, my hair and everything was just like everybody else's. But still, the rapists and those people saw me as, that's who the person we need to prey on. And they did. They preyed on me for a long time. And then when they were done, they discarded me. They said, yep, we had our fill of you, and we enjoyed you. Now, time to kick you out. And they did. And nothing I could do about that. That's been 20 years ago. And one of my friends who was in the military with me, they did the same thing to him, but differently, and removed him. And both of us sat here and we talked, and we live in California together. Bless his heart. I cry so much for him. I cry so much for him. I cry for myself, but I cry for him because he went into the military to do the same thing I did. He wanted to serve his country, and he's a shell of his former self. He's not the same guy. He's not the same guy that came into the military. He's totally different. And it makes me so sad because the military breaks you down, and then they can destroy who you were. And now you have to take the time to come back from that. And that's what I'm working on doing. I have dealt with my domestic violence with the husband, the ex-husband, but now there's a bigger monster that I've never talked about. This monster is bigger than the domestic violence one, even though that one's serious. That one only took like seven years to get out of. 10 years of a marriage, he got divorced. But this sucker that I'm talking about, this is 20 years old. This one, this trauma, these traumatic events, I've never dealt with, never spoke about. It was just like my mind had blacked it out. And even in the record it said I had fallen to the floor in a fetal position in the shower, just laying there. I can't even recall that. I can't even remember it. I'm trying to remember, well, which shower stall was I on? Because they all have everybody take a shower at the same time. You know, it's just like, okay, we all get naked and we all take a shower. It's just, there's no privacy in the military. And it's just, no wonder everybody could be raped, you know. But anyway, you know, the TIs, they should have had women TIs, but they had male TIs for a female dormitory, you know. So obviously walking around and watching naked women take a shower every day, something's bound to happen. And something did. So anyway, yeah, I can't even take a shower with Ivory soap because it's a trigger. Because that's the soap I took into the military. And I knew it would keep me clean. It would make me smell good and nice and fresh. And every time I take soap with Ivory, I can't even smell that. And I've been using some trigger music to try and get things out of me. And I told somebody about it, and I've been using it. And it's been taking me back to San Antonio, Texas, Lackland Air Force Base during the Christmas season. And this song came on. It says, you can do magic. You can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. You know that you're the one who puts out the fire. You can have your fill when you cast your spell. And it's just like, that song. The songs in our lives, in our memories, remind us of places, of times, scents, take us back to either good times or bad times and trigger us to emotions that we have not yet processed or dealt with. You wonder when you smell a certain perfume on a woman, why your senses just ignite and just you remember all the good times, all the loving times, all the intimate times, because it's playing on your senses. And if you smell cologne on a male, it takes you back to a strong time, a time where there were men that were good and chivalrous, and they'd come up and they'd be nice to you, and they'd make sure nobody would jack with you and mess with you. But nowadays we don't have those kind of men. Most of the men I run into are trash. So, not to say that I'm looking for a man at this time. I do long for a real husband, not like the one I had, but I long for a real, true husband, not someone who's just so mean and just rah, rah, just gruff and rough, and you shouldn't do that, rah, rah, rah. That's not the kind of husband I want. I want him to be like that to other people, but I want him to be sweet to me. So, anyway, the longing for the right man that the Lord would send is something that has been in me since I've been young. All of us, when we're young, some of us do, but I know for me specifically, when I was young, I would play with Barbie dolls. And I would play with Barbie dolls, and I'd have Ken come over. He'd drive up in his little convertible Barbie doll car, pick up one of the Barbies, like, hey, you would go out on a date? Yes, and jump in the car, and go drive around. And my girlfriend and I, we used to play with the Barbie doll dream house. Somehow the Barbie dolls always end up with their clothes off, but that's neither here nor there. I just know that when I was playing with the dolls, I knew that Ken never once hit the Barbie. When I was playing in my time with my dolls, Ken never once hit Barbie. He was always driving around, and I had the Steven too. Steven was all right, you know. Steven was just one of those dolls that, you know, they would come together, grab their girlfriends, and they go out on double dates. Sometimes Steven didn't have a car, you know, and he was the doll, but Ken had everything. Ken had the house, Ken had the car, Ken had the dogs, Ken had the boat, Ken had the yacht, Ken had the camper. I mean, and then when you look at reality in real life, you just like, sometimes the Kens of the world, they have those things. And I'm not saying they always have to be a Caucasian male. I'm just saying sometimes the Kens of the world have everything that can support a family. So when I'm sharing this, I'm sharing about a lot in one time frame. So I'm going to share this on both the Loving Arms for Families, Inc. and also God's Gift to His Word. And on yesterday, I talked to my friend who has my kids through DCFS, and we discussed, you know, and that was on the 28th, we discussed some doctors, a new social worker that has been switched, and we discussed dentists and all the stuff that they're making her do, and we discussed it around 8:50, you know, at night. So it's just a process. So I think I'm going to try my best to share different things, but you know, it's hard to always turn to the Word when you're going through so much, although that's not an excuse. And so don't think that I'm making an excuse not to read the Word. I just said it. Sometimes it can be hard to go to the Word, and not saying that the Word can't help, because the Word does help. The Word is a double-edged sword. And so just sometimes my mind is just not as focused and clear as it needs to be when it comes to the Word. But I do know that the Word can help, and right now I probably come back and look for something to encourage and inspire me through the Word, because the Bible is filled with all kinds of the stuff. And encouragement is the thing I need for the day. And I will not ever stop looking for the word to encourage me. So I will come back on God's Gift Through His Word and do some scripture. But I hope you guys are going to be blessed, motivated, and inspired to do what God has laid on your heart. And don't forget that we're going to talk about rape and sexual assault. And we're also going to talk about sexual abuse. So prepare for that. We're going to have a little bit of a saga coming out. So I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how many episodes this will be for my podcast, but know it's coming. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So this is just a long introduction into what's coming. So I've got the DCFS Diaries coming, and I also have the rape and sexual assault coming from the military, and I'll be talking about it. So look out for it, and remember to get your body butter and everything, your soaps and from Soaps and Butters, and don't forget to get either the lavender cream or some essential oils or the Cardi B from Soaps and Butters Naturals. And her name is Miss Rhonda Mitchell. So she is a sponsor of today, and I just say a light sponsor because I try to sponsor and I try to help promote those who are independently doing their own thing. So don't forget to check out Soaps and Butter. She's on Facebook, she's on Twitter, and her name is Rhonda Mitchell. Tell her Tanika Drake sent you, and hopefully you will be getting a lot of good stuff from her. So I will talk to you guys later. Remember to be blessed, motivated, always inspired to do what God has laid on your heart. And remember, abuse, rape, sexual assault, domestic violence, intimate partner violence, just because it has happened to you doesn't mean you're broken, doesn't mean you're damaged. It means you are processing, and you have to process the trauma in your life. You can be a whole person. Know that. And I'm working on becoming a whole person for the right person in the future. But for now, while I'm going through this, we're going to process it together. So let's go down that journey, and let's take our time to stay grounded, to focus on the here and now, focus on the things that you're doing positively, and don't get so caught up in all the bad stuff that has happened to you in the past. Because one thing is for sure, you can't change the past, but as a friend told me, you can choose how you want to move forward, and you can change your story. Your trauma doesn't have to be the drama that you use in your everyday life. So let's focus on getting better. Let's focus on healing. Let's focus on being whole, because you and I deserve to be whole for ourselves first. Love ourselves enough to know that God loves us so much that we're not broken vessels. We have just been tarnished, but we can come back and be spit polished. So I'm excited for the journey ahead. It's not going to be an easy journey. I'm pretty sure I'll have some times when I'm crying, but it's part of the process in order to heal and be whole. So I'm going to do that, and I hope that you will enjoy the journey. And if you need to be healed and whole, that you come along right side with me. And I'm going to be checking out The Invisible War as a documentary. I hope that you will do the same. I think you can buy or rent it. So I'm going to be renting it or buying it on YouTube so I can watch it. Pay attention to that documentary. There's a lot of women like me and others who have really suffered through being raped through the military, and their whole career was thrown through the trash. So I'm not alone. So I am glad to hear them share their stories. That empowers me to share my own. So I will talk to you guys later, and thank you guys for tuning in and still being a part of God's Gift Through His Word or Laugh Inc. podcast. You guys have been rocking with me for a long time, and I appreciate you guys so much. So God bless your hearts, and stay safe out there in this COVID-19, and we shall talk again. Take care.
Hello, this is Pastor Jay with Walk in Truth Radio Podcast and the senior pastor of Walk in Truth Christian Fellowship Church. If you happen to be in the St. Louis metropolitan area, we would invite you to come worship with us every Sunday at the Universal Church of Jesus Christ building located at 2301 Wallace Avenue. That's Wallis Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63114. Our Bible studies are held in the same facility every Tuesday at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Please come check us out and see what God has to say. Bring your smile, bring your doctrine, bring your Bible, but most of all, bring yourself and the love of God, and let's worship together. Again, this is Pastor Jay. I always want you to be encouraged, be blessed, to be at peace, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you for enjoying my mom's show, God's Gift Through His Word. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I hope you guys stay tuning into my mom's show.
Hey, Miss Tanika, what's good, mommy? How you doing? How you feeling? How you living? How you grilling? Today is a new day. Today is a new way. Come on now. I see you got the SoCal experience working on. Please believe when I get this next episode up and running, I will share all your information and the way to get in contact with you, stay connected with you, you know what I'm saying? So we can spread the experience, spread the knowledge, spread the love, and, you know, keep everybody's hopes and inspirations to the highest of highs. You feel me? It's a drug that they won't never have to put down or get arrested for because it's that dope. So with all that being said, trust, please believe, I thank you for reaching out to me because, I'm going to spread it the no-show way. That's right. We're going to spread it all over the ATL the best way that I can. And when they tune into No Shows Theater, please believe they will tune in to Tanika Drake. That's all the love that we can do for the world because we got to keep on going.
Hi, Ms.Drake. I truly appreciate your feedback, and I'm really lost for words because I never thought that people would even really listen to it, but I definitely appreciate you taking your time out to listen to my podcast, and I'm going to take out time to listen to yours too because it's right up my alley, because I am personally trying to get closer with God and continue to listen to what He tells me to. And I just, once again, thank you. And yes, most definitely, I hope we can talk more in the future. And I just know just great things are to come. And once again, I thank you, and I can't wait to talk more with you.
Good morning, Sister Drake. How are you today? I just received your message, and I definitely understand. Oh, yes, I've been staying in, so basically everyone in my family has been fine. There were 2 deaths in my father's family, but that was due to old age, heart attack. So far, no one I know or in my family has the virus, and that's a blessing. I'm sorry, if you're going through anything, you're in my prayers. This is, a time where, people are just not listening. They're going to and fro and doing whatever they feel they want to do. And, that's on them. They really not taking this seriously. And I guess this shows that a lot of people don't watch the news, because if they watch the news, they would stay in and
Good day, T. Drake. This is your friend, Orson Welles, speaking to you from the Mercury Theatre with the Mercury Theatre Players. We've all just done our very first radio broadcast of War of the Worlds, and we thought we'd take some time out to let you know how much we listen to your podcast day in and day out here in the Mercury Theater. Lots of people think that what you're doing is aerodynamic, dynamic, and otherwise incredible. Please continue doing what you normally do, and I can assure you, you will have an audience who listens attentively.